it's Anna here from Papercraft Create and welcome to my channel. Today's video is part of a hop and it is a collaboration between This Calls for Confetti and Kendra's Card Challenge number 14. So today I'm going to provide a couple of projects using the card sketches, and I will be using this wonderful set that has been provided by This Calls for Confetti, who is one of the prize sponsors for the challenge. This is the Happy Sentiments and Happy Layering die sets. Now they are coordinating, however this is certainly a standalone die set with this wonderful nesting set of rectangles. Now I'll show you some hopefully creative ways of how you can use them within the card sketches, as well as obviously showing how this wonderful stamp set with the open happy sentiment where you can fit in these little ones, and also using the die to cut them out as well. So together with that, I'll also be using this wonderful little paper pad. I have used it in another project, but it is a very generic card pattern paper pack, so you can certainly use it for any occasion. And I'm going to make some birthday cards today because it seems I have lots of birthdays for my kids and it's always great to make up these cards. Just also a nice mention and shout out to This Calls for Confetti. Thank you so much for supporting the Cards by Kendra challenges. We really love that you're a part of our little family. And they will be providing a confetti mix and also a $25 gift voucher to use at your leisure if you are one of the lucky winners once you enter a set of cards. The projects I will be making today are inspired by Card Sketch 8 and Card Sketch 12. So this is a sample of the card sketches you do get as part of the free PDF. So if you haven't done one of the Kendra's Card Challenge sketches before, she provides cutting templates for all the 6 papers that you'll be using, plus an idea of where you should start with your card sketches. So by all means you can follow these to a T, or you can make them your own and move around the elements to suit yourself. But a wonderful resource to keep in your craft room for later date. I know when I need to make either a quick card or I'm having a bit of a creative lull, I'll just pull out my sketches and get some inspiration from them. So not only are they wonderful to take part in the actual challenge itself and win some awesome prizes, but also as a reference for later on. Now I'll be making my own cardstock colour just by colouring with some Distress and Oxide inks. So what I just found that I didn't have the right shade of blue in my mat for my matting layers, so what I did want to do was create something. So I had a look at my inks, and one of our wonderful other design team members, Angela Brennan, does this all the time, and I think it's just magnificent. And it's also a great way if you don't have a lot of space and you don't want to store a lot of cardstocks. You can predominantly have white and then just colour up the edges, particularly if you're only going to be showing like an eighth of an inch. Like you don't need all that colour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to colour in a lot of this, and then I'm going to do some die cutting. So I will be using the Distress ink in Mermaid Lagoon to put an even coverage of colour around the very edge of this sheet of paper. Now these little blocks are great because they're a perfect size just to do this particular type of work. You could ink blend it if you prefer, but it's just as easy and quick to do this. And I also will be punching out a circle from the middle, which is why I did that. Otherwise you could just do the edges and that would be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'll be using 2 of these rectangles to create a frame. The outer one will be a matte layer for one card and the inner layer for another. And then I'll also punch out the circle from the middle layer. So in fact, I'm getting 3 bits of layering out of one sheet of paper. So it's a super cost saver. And also it just keeps everything nice and uniform, and, I'm not using too much ink and wasting paper. Just while I've got the die cutting machine out, I thought I would just die cut. So I've just heat embossed in white a little sentiment, and I've used the one of the small narrow rectangles to do that as well. So now you'll see that I'm using this bigger frame, and I'm going to attach the pattern paper to this. So just a little bit of glue on the very edge, because obviously it isn't a super big frame, but it's enough to cover that. And once you've done that, you won't even know that the inside's not there. And what it does do is it makes it a less weightier card, and in fact also if you're posting it, great, because it reduces the bulk. So off screen, I had coloured some other bits and pieces for paper, and I've used it for this these matting layers as well. Now with these two pieces on this particular card, I thought, how am I going to cut a very straight angle on both of those? So I've used just some washi tape just to tape them together, and then I'll create one smooth angle on that there, and then just remove that, because the washi tape is removable without causing too much damage to your paper. It works really well. So I've kept them at a rectangle. I'll glue these two on, position them. Oops, and then I spilt a little extra. And then I'll just trim it down as needed. This is the easiest way I find to do these sorts of angles and matting, rather than, trying to sort of guesswork. I mean, look, if you're not too fussed with it, that's totally fine as well. I can be a little bit OCD when it comes to having straight edges and even edges. But that's my little crafting secret. So then I just mat up this one here. So what I've done is I've used the stamp image on this one. Now I have done it off screen, and it's basically, I've used a stamp positioner, just my Misty, to first stamp, which I've used the Oxide inks for, and I've stamped the word happy, and then I've taken that away, and then I've positioned the little word birthday and stamped that separately. Very easy to do. You could do it one way or the other. It probably doesn't really matter, but it makes it much easier using a stamp positioning tool like a Misty, or one of so many other brands that do them, and is really, really super easy to line up these sorts of things. I found it really easy. The stamps were actually just beautiful quality, stamped up really nicely, just straight off. I just didn't want to make this video super long, so I had to cut out a few bits and pieces, but it's just some straightforward stamping on that one there. So as you can see, I've just put that all together, and I think it's come up really beautiful in all those nice blue tones. So moving on to the next card, I am in fact going to be punching out now. You'll see me punching out circle, and that will become my focal piece. And once again, just popping on the pattern paper on top of that one there. Once it's on, you don't know what's going on underneath it. It just looks like it's got a beautiful, lovely frame. Matting layer. So I will emboss this little circle, as it is the card sketch suggests some sort of texture, whether it's stenciled or embossing it. I love my embossing folders, so I've decided to go for another little shape to complement the sort of square shapes that are on the actual pattern paper. So just little triangles. And I think it complements it really well. Now I've put it through once and it doesn't seem to have embossed quite heavy enough, so I've just run it through again, putting a little shim in there. As mentioned earlier, this video is part of a hop. There is also a giveaway, so you can win a digital prize from Cards by Kendra by watching all the videos and entering by the 25th of May. Now, you just need to fill out a Google form. The link for that form is in the description box, and there's a playlist link there as well, which links you to all the videos that are in the hop, which makes it very easy and convenient to find them all, and hopefully you'll get lots of inspiration with both this product and also the card sketches themselves. So now you'll see me putting this sentiment together. So what I've done is I've cut out the word happy out of the happy die, and I had in fact cut out I think 3 or 4 layers, as well as a top layer of glitter cardstock. I was hoping to use this negative space as the um, stencil for me to be able to line this up, but I think because I had it so thick and the paper wasn't quite thick enough, it was actually in fact causing problems with fitting those letters through. But if it was, only 1 or 2 layers, I'm sure it would work well. You could just use a ruler, or just as in the end I just sort of thought I'd just do it by eye, and I think it's worked out pretty well. So I'm fairly happy with that. Also, just wanting to make a little mention about Kendra's Patreon membership. It's a great membership to be a part of. There are different levels, and there is a link to her website in the description box where you can find out more about that. She does have, obviously, the card challenges, and you can also access past card challenges, and also monthly giveaways, like digital giveaways, and lots of different things. So I urge you to have a look at that, and have a look and see if it's something for you. It certainly is a great little membership that she has going there. I'm now just cutting up my little layering pieces for my 2 little strips of pattern paper. So I'm only just putting a 1/16 inch border around those, not the 1/8, just because I find some of these little pieces only just need a little bit of a highlight. So with that bigger piece, I in fact just had missed out some colour on that one side. So I just got my Oxide ink, which is a little bit more opaque, and just blended that over and filled in those white spots, which worked really well and was really quick. And doesn't sort of leave any streaks or anything like that. Now just gluing those up, I'll sort of cut around them and get them ready to place on my card. So just also wanting to mention, if you have or you haven't taken part in the actual Kendra's card challenge, I'm making the 15 cards, I really urge you to have a look, give it a go. If you have done them before, you'll know how much fun it is, and if you haven't, well, you're in for a wonderful surprise. Now, there's loads of prizes to be won by some amazing prize sponsors, including the wonderful This Calls for Confetti, who have supplied a confetti mix, and also a $25 gift voucher to use on products of your choosing. So definitely worth having a look and getting into the running to win those prizes. So this Kendra's Card Challenge 14 will run until the 30th of June. So we urge you to get your cards in, and take part in the fun and enjoy crafting and get some inspiration while you're at it. Like sometimes you've got to make a bunch of cards, and there's nothing more daunting than working out what they're all going to look like, and this makes it all the so much easier. So all information in the description box below. So thank you so much for watching. Get around to all the videos, and hope to see you soon in the next video. Bye.